You do not have to become a stock market expert or risk a single dollar on volatile investments to stop losing money. There is a smarter path. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening to your cash right now. Picture this. It is January 2021. You have $10,000 sitting in a standard savings account at a major bank. You feel responsible, disciplined, smart. Fast forward to December 2023. That same $10,000 is still sitting there. Your bank gave you a generous 0.4% interest. You earned maybe $120 over 3 years. Meanwhile, inflation averaged 5.8% annually during that same stretch. Your $10,000 in real purchasing power, now worth roughly $8,400. You lost $1,600 without touching a single cent. No bad trades, no risky bets, just a savings account. That is not safety. That is a slow leak. And most people have no idea it is happening to them. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, that loop closes and you will know exactly what to do instead. Now you might be thinking, okay, but this is a problem for people who are bad with money. Wrong. This is actually the opposite problem. This hits the responsible ones hardest. The person who pays their bills on time, who actually saves a portion of every paycheck, who was told growing up, put your money in the bank. It is safe there. If that sounds like you are the target audience for this video. According to a 2023 Bankrate survey, 57% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. But here is the flip side. A significant chunk of people who can cover it are oversaving in low-yield accounts. We are talking about everyday working professionals in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. People with $5,000, $15,000, even $50,000 sitting in accounts earning next to nothing. Teachers, nurses, engineers, small business owners. People doing everything right. Except one critical thing. And that one thing is costing them thousands of dollars every single. Warning number 1. Inflation is a silent tax and your savings account is not keeping up with it. Here is how it works in plain numbers. The Federal Reserve targets 2% inflation annually. That means the cost of living doubles roughly every 35 years. But between 2021 and 2023, inflation hit a 40-year high, peaking at 9.1% in June 2022. A standard savings account at Bank of America or Chase during that same period, paying somewhere between 0.01% and 0.5% APY. Do the math. Inflation at 9.1%. Your savings earning 0.5%. You are down 8.6% in real value in a single year. On a $20,000 balance, that is $1,720 vanishing in 12 months. Silently, invisibly, with no notification from your bank. And here is the part that will really bother you. Your bank knows this. They are taking your deposits, lending them out at 6%, 7%, 8% through mortgages and auto loans, and handing you back a fraction of a percent. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed, just not in your favor. Warning number 2. Every month your money sits idle. You are not just losing to inflation. You are losing to compounding. And that loss grows exponentially over time. Let me show you what I mean with 2 real scenarios. Person A puts $10,000 into a high-yield savings account in January 2020, earning 4.5% APY, which is available today through online banks like Marcus by Goldman Sachs or Ally. Person B parks the same $10,000 in a traditional Chase savings account, earning 0.01%. By January 2030, 10 years later, Person A has roughly $15,530. Person B has $10,010. That is a $5,520 difference. From the same $10,000. With zero extra effort. Zero risk difference in most cases. Now scale that up. $50,000 over 10 years at 0.0. 1% question mark. You end $50,050. At 4.5% question mark. You end up with $77,600. That gap is not a rounding error. That is a car, a down payment, a year of college, an entire financial chapter of your life, handed over to a bank that gave you almost nothing in return. This is opportunity cost, and most people never even calculate it. Warning number 3. And this one is the most dangerous because it lives entirely inside your head. There is a feeling you get when you look at your savings account and see a big number. Comfort, security, control. And that feeling is real, but it is lying to you. Behavioral economists call this nominal value bias. You see $15,000 and think, great, I have $15,000. But you are not measuring what matters. You are not measuring purchasing power. You are not measuring opportunity. You are measuring a number, and that number is going down in real terms every single day. Dr. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner and author of Thinking Fast and Slow, spent decades documenting how humans are wired to avoid perceived loss more than we pursue actual gain. Keeping money in a savings account feels like not losing, even when you are losing. It is a psychological illusion, and banks, whether intentionally or not, benefit massively from this bias every single day. The dangerous part? The smarter you are, the better you are at rationalizing why the savings account is fine. You tell yourself you will move the money soon. You just need a little more saved first. Soon becomes years. Years become a decade. So why does this keep happening? Why do millions of genuinely smart, responsible people fall into all 3 of these traps at once? 3 reasons. First, financial education in the United States is nearly non-existent. A 2022 TIAA Institute study found that only 52% of Americans could answer basic financial literacy questions correctly. Nobody taught you that a savings account was a starting point, not a destination. Second, banks make the friction low on the way in and high on the way out. Opening a savings account takes 5 minutes. Understanding your alternatives takes effort, time, and vocabulary most people were never given. Third, the media narrative around investing is terrifying. Turn on CNBC for 20 minutes, and you will hear about market crashes, recessions, and volatility. Nobody is leading the segment with, and today, a 27-year-old nurse from Ohio quietly earned 4.7% on her idle emergency fund through a money market account. That story does not get clicks. Fear does. So you stay in the savings account, not because it is the best option, but because it feels like the least scary one. And that distinction between best and least scary is exactly where most people's wealth quietly disappears. Okay, here is the part you actually came for, the smarter path. And remember, you do not have to become a day trader, understand options contracts, or ever touch a volatile stock to fix this. Let me give you a clear, low-risk framework right now. Step 1. Separate your money by purpose. Keep 1 to 3 months of expenses in a traditional savings account for instant access. That is your true emergency buffer. Everything else? It should be working harder. Step 2. Move idle cash above that buffer into a high-yield savings account or money market account. Ali, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and SoFi are currently offering between 4.5% and 5.1% APY as of early 2024. That alone could be the difference between warning 2 hitting you or not. Step 3. For money you will not need for at least 12 months, explore short-term treasury bills or I-bonds. In October 2022, I-bonds hit a record 9.62% annual rate. Treasury bills as of Q1 2024 are yielding around 5.3%. These are backed by the US government. They are not stocks. They are not crypto. They are some of the safest instruments on the planet. Now, if you are wondering where to actually start doing this without spending hours researching, this is the point in the video where I want to mention something genuinely useful. There are investment apps built specifically for beginners that let you move idle cash into low-risk assets like money market funds, treasury bills, and high-yield vehicles in under 5 minutes. We have compared the top options, fees, minimums, interest rates, and ease of use. And the link is in the description below. No account minimums on most. No prior investing experience needed. Just a smarter place for your money to sit. Step 4. Automate. Set a recurring transfer. The biggest obstacle is not knowledge anymore. It is inertia. Remove the decision from your to-do list. Let the system work while you sleep. Here is where we close the loop. Remember that $10,000 we talked about at the very start? The one that silently became worth $8,400 while sitting in a standard savings account between 2021 and 2023. That was not bad luck. That was a predictable, measurable outcome, and one that is completely avoidable going forward. You are not bad with money. You were not given the full picture. Now you have it. You know about the inflation tax. You know about the compounding gap. You know about the psychological comfort trap that keeps smart people stuck. And most importantly, you know the smarter path forward does not require becoming a financial expert. It requires one decision. Moving idle cash somewhere, it actually works for you. If this video changed the way you think about your savings account, do one thing before you close this tab. Check the link in the description. Look at the high-yield options available to you right now, and make a plan for the money that has been sitting still for too long. Share this video with one person you know who has money sitting in a low-yield account. They may not know it yet, but you just did them a significant financial favor. Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Nothing constitutes financial advice. Always consult a licensed financial advisor.